The sky, the earth, and the underworld. That ancient idea, drawn from the cosmology of the Chumash people who once inhabited this land, inspired one of the most striking homes in Hidden Hills. They call it Three Plains. Designed by Jae Omar and built by H2 Development, this modern equestrian estate is a physical manifestation of that mythical journey, a home layered with meaning where architecture becomes storytelling. Wrapped in charred Shu Sugiban wood, Santa Barbara stone, and hand-applied plaster, this estate feels carved from nature, yet it's entirely new. Not long ago, this was just a 1950s ranch, a modest home that briefly made headlines when Kanye West bought it in 2021 for its location across from Kim Kardashian's compound. That ranch is gone. In its place stands Three Plains, an architectural statement shaping the future of this community, and today, I'm giving you an exclusive full tour inside. Several trees hide this home from the street, but as you arrive down the driveway on the left side of this property, the modern farmhouse stands out on its own with several dark finishes in the wood exterior and a massive driveway here with multiple spaces for your cars right next to the pedestrian gate behind me. You do have some beautiful trees, nature, landscaping, and greenery throughout. You can fit another maybe 10 to 12 cars on the left side, so you can see this comfortable turf pattern leading up to a side door and the side yard of the house as well. And the 4-car garage doors blend within the exterior siding of the property too. And there is a lot of custom finishes inside this modern farmhouse that you guys are not going to want to miss, so stick around as we head up to the front of the property. Through the pedestrian gate. Now, Hidden Hills is known for its white fencing. As you can see, it surrounds the landscaping in our front yard as well. And you also do have a code if you want to lock it and have your guests enter this before even entering into the front yard, but they can step foot onto the driveway if they would like. And this is unique because there is so much grass here in the front yard, and the property actually extends all the way to the corner behind me. You probably can't even see it. We'll make our way over there a little bit later on in the video. But down below my feet, you can see the diagonal pathway leading up to the front of the home. It has that typical A-frame that you see in many of the entrances for our modern farmhouses here in the San Fernando Valley. We see some of the largest olive trees here in the front yard of this property. White flowers, wood chips surrounds the front of this home, and a peaceful waterfall to the right side as you walk up to the front door. But we can already see that glass pivot door as we head inside, so let's go check it out. Notice the vertical spine at the center. Jae Omar calls it the sky plane. It draws your eye upward and organizes every space around it, setting the tone for how this home unfolds. As we make our way inside to this grand foyer and the entrance of the property, the first thing that you guys are going to see to my right are 3 pieces of wall art built into the wall with display light over every single one of them. Also a very unique chandelier directly up above me that look like deer horns or antlers coming down from the unique skylights, the double height ceilings above us, and all of the wood that we see up on the ceiling and the recessed lighting. It is beautiful here. In front of me is where we're gonna find the formal dining room. And what you're gonna notice throughout this property is the staging specifically that actually comes with the purchase of our home. Behind the dining table is the first thing that I see, all of the vases inside the indents of the walls with an LED light backlighting them to put them on display as soon as you walk into the house and look to your left. We've also got the wood beams up above, the recessed lighting, and built-in speakers. And obviously, all of this sunlight drenching our dining area makes this a unique moment throughout the entire house. And we're just getting started here as well. You look to our right, we can see the beautiful front yard landscaping, truly one of a kind here in Los Angeles in its entirety. And down this way is where we're gonna lead into the kitchen. But first, there is a wet bar, 2 floating shelves, LED lighting. We also do have plastered walls behind us and throughout the dining area we just saw. Down beneath, you can see this ridged finish, also wood once again, travertine countertops, and you have the integrated sink on the right side here for our wet bar. Hiding down beneath, Sub-Zero mini fridge also. So if you want a cool drink after you've had a meal, you don't have to walk too far to grab one from the mini fridge down below. Many times when serving food from the kitchen to the dining area, you have these walkways a bit more narrow, but here you actually have a good amount of space to where you can go back and forth and feels like you're not getting too cramped. But as you can already tell, leads us into the kitchen, but we're gonna hide that for right now. Let's jump back to the front door where you'll find our view of the house right as you enter. And we do have the same thing with the wall art built into the wall to my left, the display lighting above us, the double height ceilings, and your beautiful home in Hidden Hills. Guys, welcome. We are walking the entirety of this house with me. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe also if you've been a fan of the channel. Here are the total specs of the property. It is not the smallest home we've toured, so this is gonna be quite the video, and I can't wait to show you guys the rest of this house. As I said, the staging is really cool. Another thing I noticed is this bench. You've got this dark wood bench here that is not your typical seat when entering into a property. This is not just a home, but truly a masterpiece. And the details in this house are something that I will probably miss a few. So if you guys notice any details that I don't, please leave a comment down below. But let's head to the right wing of the property. Floating wood staircase to my left side, and to my right, this is not your home movie theater, but your cinema room, and one of my favorites. So walk here with me. So this is the room where you'd come in, you relax, you'd watch TV in private, or it is attached to an office that I'll get to in just a second. But first, talking about this room, speakers throughout, and you can see the padded walls surrounding us to make for a great surround sound system when watching your favorite film. Also, I love the built-in matte black display sections on every single padded piece of the wall where you can see the custom rustic vases. Also, something that if you just had your basic, maybe colorful piece of artwork in there, it would not make this room feel the same way that it does right now. But I do want to show you guys the office next to us so I can explain why this might be my favorite room in any home I've ever toured. So come into here, you enter through 2 more see-through doors as it leads into our office area. So could you imagine getting work done at this office desk all day, taking a call, and then you get tired of sitting in this leather chair, which is not a cheap chair either. So then you walk a few feet in front of you, sit down on your comfortable couch, put on whatever, maybe a sporting event up or something to just get your mind off the work while you're taking a call on your phone, which just makes this a multi-room private office space to really get away from the family when you need to have no distractions and just get some work done, sit down in your place in the household and get after it. Because the person buying this house has probably spent a decent amount of time in an office place. So it would make sense to make this room one of the best in the home. Another thing that stands out when talking about the house, look at the custom built-ins to both sides of our see-through doors. And then once again, the staging. I have to shout out the staging. First of all, Jae Omar and Vesta for the combination of the staging in here, the rustic look. Does not feel like we're in a 2025 build modern farmhouse. It really feels like we're in a dark wood cabin in the mountains, in the woods, with all of the nature, the greenery, the trees that surround us. Even looking outside in our front yard through this window after sitting in your office desk makes you feel like you're somewhere that is not Los Angeles, I'll tell you that. But as we keep on moving up above, we have a modern light fixture hanging on those crosswood beams and the same display walls. I could really spend all day in this office living area combination, but follow me outside of it because maybe you just got all your work done for the day, you finished watching TV in there as well, and you want a drink. Well, the bar is nearby, just a few steps away outside of those doors once again. This is not your typical bar. Let me show you why. First off, you have this elevated custom wood countertop that you can see here. You can see the unique shape that this countertop has. And then down beneath, you have the limestone under us with the LED light running underneath this elevated wood countertop. And then you have the light to dark combination in the contrast. And look at this. We have the vertically opening slider looking out to our pool and the backyard of the property. There are also bar stools right next to me underneath those countertops, so you can have a seat from the outdoors and get served drinks from inside, so you don't have to go back and forth if you want to enjoy refreshments while you're taking a dip in the pool. So that's nice. You have the indoor seating and the outdoor as well. Looking more into the finishes of this bar, lots of storage space down beneath me, no exposed handles except for one right here with the gold tones, and that is your ice maker. Not only do you have an ice maker, but you do also have a mini fridge down beneath as well. Might be hard to tell where those are if you didn't walk through this house beforehand. You have the integrated linear sink on the far left side with a rose gold faucet, and I do like the light fixtures that look like symbols to both sides of the accordion sliding door leading to the outdoors. But you can see there's just a lot of custom elements and design to this house, from the white oak wood to the plastered walls to the beams above us. You also have a cutting board that I didn't mention built into the sink here on the left side. So if you want to cut these limes up pretty effortlessly, you can do that right here. And you can watch me juggle while you're at it. So now let's go into the formal living room right next to the bar. High ceilings once again with wood beams, recessed lighting, and an identical light fixture that we saw in our office space. This is where you'd be hanging out to get away from everyone in the kitchen and the family room on the opposite wing of the property. As you can tell, there's no TV up above on our silver travertine surrounding this large fireplace. You also see the wood to both sides, which really gives it just a mountain vibe in here. This is not what you would imagine if you're thinking about a modern fireplace in a modern farmhouse here in LA. So let's start over here to this side. Once again, I'm gonna keep talking about it. Follow me over here. The staging, just in this chair that looks like maybe my grandma's rocking chair. Now that is not my grandma's rocking chair, I'll tell you that. This is really probably a very expensive chair for the staging and the design of the interior in this property. Very cool look. Overall, there should be a podcast set up here. And look outside to the nature, the yard, and the landscaping, which is beautiful. And then in front of me here, you see once again these open pockets into the wall that almost go maybe a foot inside the wall with these matte black finishes, LED light under there, and these massive bases. These are pretty heavy. I don't know if we'd be able to lift that by ourselves, but that is also another look in here that is custom to this property. I've toured thousands of homes, and I don't think I've seen this specific look within any wall in a living room space. On the opposite end, it is symmetrical. So we do have the same thing down beneath. You also see the wood paneled walls throughout on this side as well, down beneath with these massive bases. And then you have sliders that lead out directly to the infinity edge pool and what looks like the woods here in Hidden Hills. It's also a horse trail back there that we'll show you when we go outside. But that was this right wing of the property in its entirety. Let's now jump to the family room and kitchen. Under the floating staircase once again to the family room. And this is where you're going to be spending most of your time in this property. We do have the fireplace on to the right side, beautiful stone surrounding it. You can see this large custom wood beam hanging right above the fireplace, which is a cool look. Two small modern light fixtures built into that stone and a lot of space to hang out with the friends and family. But what I like about this area is your gorgeous chef's kitchen. Now this stands out because just check it out overall. You can see the tones almost blend in together, but there is a combination of several different elements here in the kitchen. Gorgeous travertine countertops on both of our islands. Now let's get into some of the details here. You see the wood siding, built-in outlet down beneath, and fridge and freezer are, where do you think? Right here. Into the wall, push to open. Once again, top of the line appliances, Thermador down there. And if you follow me this way, look at where the handles are for all of these drawers. Now you can see a copper finish up above, but then you have the wood finish on the face of the drawer. It's pretty cool. Soft closing. 6-burner gas stove is on our island here, and you have one of those Viking vents that is pushed to open. So once you hit that button on the right side, it comes up so you don't have anything large and hanging from directly above your stove. So it's very minimal. It blends in well, built into the countertop stone. And look at that, turns on by itself. It's really nice. I'm always a fan of that. And as we keep on going, now this is a little entryway that leads us into the dining area. I'll just show you this real quick right now, just in one shot. Now to both sides, we have something interesting. We'll start over here. This is actually your pantry. It's a glass enclosed pantry. I love all of the wood and the elements throughout. Wood beams up above, lights hanging from the ceiling beneath, between each wood beam. And then you've got more of those travertine countertops as well on the backsplash. And then all of these floating wood shelves for whatever you need. And then a ladder that does slide, of course. Actually, I probably shouldn't go under the ladder. Isn't that bad luck or something? We'll show you what's in front of me now. Very similar to this space, but almost completely different because it is a wine cellar. Several glass bottles of wine hanging from these thin strings from the ceiling, wrapped around this wine cellar, temperature controlled, of course. Not currently, or else I would be having a field day, because you guys know that I love the cool breeze in these wine cellars. But let's get out of here. Also, I want to know, comment right below, how many wine bottles do you think fit in here in its entirety? I'm going to give you 2 seconds to comment. Let me know. Winner might get a prize. We'll check back at the end of the video after we count them ourselves. Next to the wine cellar, that's where we're going to find the powder room of the property. Not your typical powder room, so you're going to want to see this. Also a display light and a pretty cool piece of wall art up against before we head inside. Some closet space as well, and check this out. Motion sensor lights as we step into here. More wood walls throughout. 4 floating wood beams also above us. And there's a floating piece of wood acting as our countertop with travertine on the lower half walls surrounding us, as well as here on the backsplash. And if we look at this sink, this is something you've never seen, only in Jae Omar houses. I'm gonna read it because there is a quote inside the sink. It says, "Gifts you carry softly, thundering from electric skies, bolts of lightning flashing, storms rush the raging tides, build me a sacred home, crystal and sapphire seas, pearls surface, glistening emerald green." Wow. Now it's a poem. That was beautiful. Beautifully said by myself, I would have to say. That's a great quote. I wonder where that exactly came from. Jay, if you're watching this, please comment down below. I want to hear where you got this one. The copper faucet is built into the stone on our wall, and there's exposed copper piping. You can see these are the actual functional piping that the water is coming from, which is also very cool. You don't see often. It really adds to the elements we're seeing in our powder room. You'll also notice how minimal this powder room is without any drawers or anything underneath the floating wood countertop, which makes it spacious, more open, just a simple and clean look without anything going on. No waters, no piping, just on display for us, except for the exposed copper piping, which you don't see every day in a property. What'd I say, guys? Not your basic powder room. Every little detail really mattered in here. But let's go back into the kitchen. Looking at the island, some of our appliances now, built-in Thermador microwave into our center island here. And then we've got dual ovens on the opposite side built into this wall. When you look at this wall, there are no exposed handles, but it is not just a wall, it is functional storage space, all push to open, which I do like. And it all blends and acts very natural together. Once again, endless amounts of storage space down beneath. You can open up from the handles right there. The travertine extends, and you have this tiny wall that's about 1 inch tall that really keeps things enclosed. So maybe they don't slide off, but I always like that when you have this small border section. It's not just a waterfall edge. Same finish on the backsplash and that travertine. And then we have a mesh finish up above. So you can slightly see into the floating cabinetry up here, but it's not your clear glass so you can't see all the way in, but it really does feed into the rest of the elements, something unique that we haven't seen yet throughout the property. Built-in stainless steel sink with a rose gold faucet in your accent there. The cabinetry extends 20 feet to the back wall here and leads us into our breakfast nook section. But before that, looking at our island, once again, something that we saw similar to the bar on the opposite wing of the home, an elevated custom wood countertop along our breakfast bar, seating for about 6 people, I would say here. And in the center, you have a little display section. For right now, we have wine bottles and there is a light in there. There's actually not a drain, so it's not your typical ice holder there, but you can display whatever you'd want. I do like how they have wine bottles if you're into wine. It's pretty close to the wine cellar as well, so just another space for some storage, and it makes this island stand out from the other and not your typical countertop area. So now let's look at this breakfast nook, because there's a lot to see. From our circular breakfast table to this unique white light fixture hanging from the center, several wood beams pretty close together up above, and then the built-in wood seating along our corner there. Also, one thing I do like that you'll see a little bit more as we look at some of the bedrooms, surrounding this window, you see the light wood in the detail. This detail really adds to the earthy vibe and the modern cabin feel that this home brings, that I'm currently feeling when standing in here. And I can't wait to show you the backyard, because that is also what stands out from an abundance of things that stand out in this home. But this is our breakfast nook section. As I said, this built-in seat goes all the way to this end wall, so there really is enough room for your entire family, and I don't care how big your family is, but they can all hang out and have breakfast together here. But let's leave the kitchen now, and we showed you both wings of the house, a majority of this level of where you're going to be spending time, but there are a few rooms that we're missing on the opposite side of the kitchen, so let's walk over there, back through this area. Now to walk down the hallway, it's all about the details in this property, such as the side tables along the wall here. You can see how narrow this custom wood side table is, built into the wall, standing on one leg, and a few posters that also fit in with the custom theme that this entire home offers. Right next to that, we have the entrance into our 4-car garage. Brand new epoxy floors in here, and as we saw from the exterior, you have 2-car garage doors, one on either side, and you can maybe fit 5 cars in here actually if one squeezes in the middle. But leading out of here, you just parked, you're ready for your long day, and you walk to this section, which is the mudroom. You also can park on the driveway and enter through this side door, built-in seating for your mudroom, and the detail in the wood, as you can see, this large circular hanger is one that I haven't seen. That is a Jae Omar special, as you can hang a hat on it like that, or your coat, a purse, a bag. That's just something a little bit more unique. On the opposite wall, more storage, push to open once again, put whatever you want in there, and then head down this hallway where we're gonna find a couple rooms that are very important to any household. First of all, on the right side, once again, no exposed handles, but a lot of storage space, really just an endless amount. This house, there is no shortage of storage, I'll tell you that. More storage would be in this laundry room. Now look at the design, the simplicity of this laundry room overall. They also do not cheap out on the materials and the finishes. As you can see, this gorgeous stone countertop is better than a majority of the rest of the house that we've been showing you guys. Also, the integrated sink with that same stone, also on the face of our sink here. It's just gorgeous. There's a texture to it, complements well with the wood that we're seeing throughout. And this is all closet doors, all storage space to this wall. It's crazy how functional they can really make a laundry room and the amount of storage that you can have in any house, because the items add up over time. Over many homes that you live in, once you get to this level of property, you might be able to fill all of these sections, all of these storage closets. But now let's show you a bedroom. I think it's time, because you step into here, this is a guest bedroom, potentially the in-law suite, or for a friend that wants to live on the lower level, because the rest of the bedrooms are upstairs. Decent sized room. You do look out to the side yard and the driveway for some of that landscape siding, and closet space directly in front of the bed. Once again, a great use of space without any handles, some drawers down beneath, and closet doors to both sides as well as up above. Ensuite guest bedroom. So there is a bathroom in here with a nice vanity section opened up to the bottom. So there are no drawers in here, but you can see from the stone, once again, you have that elevated border. This one about 2 inches, a little higher than what we saw in the kitchen, but the integrated sink and the minimal faucet. You can see how small this faucet is. Very functional. You really do have to put your hands pretty low underneath the water when it runs from this faucet here. But then you do have the bordered mirror up above, a linear window to bring in some natural sunlight, and a glass shower, of course. Sliding glass door, chrome shower head, and the entire shower is of the same tile you see going up to the ceiling. And then come a little bit closer, there is no shower niche, but a ledge right here to where you want to put all of your shampoo, your conditioners, etc. But let's see how this guest bathroom compares to the others. But first, there is the wellness room right outside. Leaving the guest room, follow me to the end of our hallway. And this is where you're gonna find the place where you're gonna be getting physically active. Right side consists of 3 mirrors. There is a stationary bike in here. Left side, TV built into the wall, and some closet space in front of me. We also have a tonal machine. I don't know if you guys have ever used one of these, but these are excellent machines. They're adding into a lot of these new construction properties because it can honestly do everything. Shout out to them, not a brand deal, but a great device for working out. Sliding glass doors to lead to the backyard. Cannot wait to go out there. And then a sliding wood barn door where we're gonna find our sauna and steam room. Take a turn left because this is it. Could you imagine walking into a sauna like this? 2 levels. You can see what, 6, 7 people in here pretty comfortably. Good amount of space, and these are pretty wide sauna benches and seats. The sauna consists of light wood finishes. Sometimes you'll see darker or orange wood in these saunas. The flooring in here is of the same tile in our bathroom, which you might see wood within the floors of our sauna, something to note, but glass door. And then our steam room. Also, the sauna logic button is on the outside, built into these wood paneling. And then inside our steam room, you can see the thermostat buttons here to control the steamer. You've got the rain shower head and the handheld shower head, glass wall, tiled steam room. Once again, there is a linear window looking out to that nature, which is finally calling our name. So after you have a nice day in wellness inside your home, you might want to get some nature and walk outside. So let's do it. From back here, it's hard to believe this land once held a simple ranch. In 2021, Kanye West paid $4.5 million for it, not because of the house itself, but because it sat directly across from Kim Kardashian's home where his kids lived. Just a year later, H2 Development stepped in, cleared the site, and started over from scratch. With Jae Omar, they created 3 planes. This home that feels rooted in nature but pushes design forward in ways Hidden Hills has not seen before. H2 has quickly become one of the most influential builders in this community, replacing cookie-cutter mansions with properties built around story, wellness, and identity, and this estate proves their vision. From a $4.5 million land deal to a home that could command 4 or 5 times that today, it shows how design and intent can reshape not just a property, but an entire neighborhood. What a serene and zen-like backyard, starting with the wood-paneled floors down beneath us. Then you've got some ficus trees that will grow to my left. This massive tree, check this out, guys. Now, this is something that needs a tree house, honestly. We don't see enough of those within these properties. You can see it's also hanging over what could be an ADU, but here in Hidden Hills, you do need horse stables or barns or barn-like structures. And then you can see the dirt pathways here on the left that lead around to some horse trails behind the property as well. So there's a lot of space, a lot that you can do with this backyard. But check this out, multiple entrances, 5 to be exact, and there are no built-in doors. But when someone does purchase this property, you can put a door in here to make it an actual guest house here in our Hidden Hills backyard. But for now, it is a meditation zone. You can see how it's staged down beneath us. There is built-in air conditioning, so it's a fully optimal and functional structure here. With the recessed lighting above, there's also a bathroom. We'll show you right here. Good size to this bathroom, wood panel around us, so it does act as an outdoor bathroom currently with a similar vanity that we saw indoors. There's also a shower to my left with a glass wall. Decently high ceilings in here, but everything you'd want in an outdoor bathroom. Let me just show you what it looks like behind this structure, because this is really cool. I don't know if you can really see, but there is the horse trail, one of the main horse trails behind us that leads up and wraps around the hills here in Hidden Hills. So one of the more private lots, because there is not a home directly behind us, so you really are getting a lot of privacy throughout this property. But now, look at this. Just look at all the greenery. This is gorgeous. This view is incredible. This does not seem like a property that would be in Los Angeles. You might not think about this here unless you're in Hidden Hills directly. But there is a pool in the backyard, so let's show you that on the opposite side. Because as we walk over there, we're first gonna see, this is a unique barbecue grill. It is a rock sink built into the concrete countertop that this barbecue area is. There are some spaces for bar seating on the opposite side. Built-in appliances, you've got the Zephyr mini fridge. There's outdoor dining up against the home. And then this outdoor circular rock fire pit, which you don't see every day. It looks like it was just built into nature out here. So everything really does blend together here in our backyard. And then multiple trees planted around us as well that will grow a bit. And then we make our way up a couple of steps, leading us to that pool, covered patio space with built-in speakers. You also do have a Wi-Fi sensor out here. Just thought that was something to point out because you don't see that in every outdoor patio space. You got the dark wood coverage above us and built-in speakers, outdoor furniture, and then you walk down along these rocks that are mixed in with a lot of real grass below our feet. This is our infinity edge pool. Now this is the money shot out here, guys. You have the infinity edge pool, as you can see, flowing to that corner, right along all of those purple flowers, multiple large olive trees, and then the side of the property. And this property line does extend all the way out to the corner that we'll show you in just a bit. But taking a look at the pool, the spa is closest to me. You can maybe fit 8 people down there. And you look up at the exterior of the home with more of that dark wood entrance into the property, more landscaping, and right here is where we're going to find that outdoor bar that I showed you with the accordion window that opens up so you can be served drinks out here. Very convenient on a warm summer day. You don't want to have to go back inside, especially if you're drenched and you just came out of the pool, you're dripping with water. You want to just grab a nice drink, grab a water even, doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage from our bar. Sit down right here, hang out with someone that is inside. It's like you're on vacation, but in your own property. One more thing I wanted to point out is along the pool, there's also a seat. You can see inside the pool, there's a bench that lines the backside of the pool so you can always face the house if you want to comfortably sit in the pool and next to the spa also, which I thought was interesting. But if we go this way, more covered patio space with the A-frame. Once again, the dark wood up above really does feel cabin-like, but in a more brand new way here in 2025. So follow me over here. We're gonna walk this dirt path in our backyard because the multiple olive trees line up, and now look at it. Feels like we've stepped into our own oasis out here. So much grass going all the way into the distance. There's even a rabbit friend over there in the far background behind me. I want to run up to him and pet him and say hi because he's enjoying the property just as we are. It's also a perfect day Not a cloud in the sky, maybe a couple, but I had to say that just for fun, guys, you know it. So look at this. This is just makes you want to be a kid, run around, see your dog play, because this is not what you think of when you think of properties in Los Angeles. So much beautiful trees, flowers, landscaping, grass, nature in general, and we are in the hills. And then you check out your property. It's not your basic home that you might see elsewhere around here. But one more thing I want to show you in the backyard are these steps real quick, because it just keeps going. I feel like these steps go all the way down to a little garden area, so you can plant whatever you'd like within your own privacy and peace, away from the elevated infinity edge pool up here. So that was it. What more could you ask for in a yard here in Hidden Hills? Absolutely incredible. We showed you the first level and this entire backyard, the horse trails. It's like your own private paradise at your property. Kanye, you're missing out by not staying here. That's everything down here. Let's head upstairs, check out the bedrooms. Heading upstairs, the first thing you guys are seeing are the several picture windows looking directly over the rooftop of the house, where we see some greenery and the hills in our city of Hidden Hills. To our left, now this is the second laundry room in the property, a bit smaller than the last one, but they still did not cheap out on any finishes. Shout out to H2 Development. They did a phenomenal job throughout this property. Built-in cabinet space up above, wood counters above our LG washer and dryer. Then you've got the elegant stone stainless steel sink and faucet. Obviously, plenty of storage space in our laundry room. You can't deny one of the better laundry rooms in any households, but in front of that laundry room is finally stepping into the primary suite. There's a dual-sided fireplace as the statement piece in the direct center of this room, surrounded by travertine up to our high wood-paneled ceilings. Once again, to my left side, we'll first show you where there's another wet bar. Up above, these almost look like giant chess pieces. You can see they almost look like a massive rook in this linear cutout section, with lighting all the way up above, recessed lighting to display whatever you'd like to have right here. And then once again, travertine countertops, integrated sink on the right side with our chrome faucet. Down beneath, you see these ridged wood finishes where we have some storage, but on the far left is actually where we have built-in mini fridge. Sub-Zero. Once again, you need another cold drink, you have it in your own bedroom. In front of me, I want to show you this display wall. Look at this display wall. You have some books in the center, which is probably what I'd want to do with my display wall, and then some greenery mixed in with your unique vases, etc., in a design that's pretty abstract, not too typical cookie cutter of any cutout that you'd see on a wall. And it is symmetrical to the opposite side that will show you where we have more of that staging that is one of a kind. Shout out Jae Omar, shout out H2 Development once again. Now I gotta walk out to this balcony, because why not? When in Southern California, you gotta open it up, you gotta get some fresh air, and check it out. We have the same stone finish on the flooring that we have outside surrounding our pool area. One unique thing that the developer told us is that if you look at the olive trees, they're actually covering the street, so that if you are on that street or at that property or on that horse trail right there, you cannot look up and see into the primary bedroom, which makes it that much more private, which is something cool to note. Now, I've seen some comments down below that have roasted me about my tree knowledge. Well, fun fact here, olive trees actually can grow green and black olives on the same tree. The differentiation is just how ripe they are. So what do you think about my tree knowledge now? There we go. But this is it. This is the view from our private balcony connected to the primary suite. Not a bad view of our property and the hills here in one of the best cities in the country, I would say. Back inside, we see the side face of our travertine and all the unique indentations going up to the ceiling on this to not give it your typical modern look, as I've said. But wrapping around the dual-sided fireplace, now look at our bed. This is a very interesting design to our bed frame. As you see the custom headboard behind it that actually elevates up in a unique slope on the right side, and the LED light strip is on the back to give it a little bit of depth to the lighting in here. There's also a king size bed. It might not look like it because it is lower to the ground. In my personal opinion, I like a bed frame and a bed that is lower to the ground. It makes it more comfortable and easy to get in and out, but that's just my personal opinion. What do you guys think? So on this side, more room for some seats and staging. Also built-in speakers in here, recessed lighting, of course. But now we have to show you what's down this way because you might like what you see. Let's take a turn to the left first. This is the walk-in closet. Now look at this, guys. A Jae Omar design walk-in closet with all of the wood doors throughout on one side, and over in this corner, the wood countertop in our island really blends in with everything else that we're seeing in so many wood finishes throughout the property. Down below, drawer space, soft closing, of course. One thing I do like about this closet, it's not just all the wood elements you may see behind me and in front of me. Over in this corner is something a bit more unique. There's a white wall with the open pocket for some more display items. Maybe you have your designer bags that you want to put on for when you walk in, and you can really motivate you to appreciate what you have here in this closet. LED lights inside every single one of them, and then in this corner is a bench that extends into the corner with floating wood shelves up, and they're kind of hidden behind this wall. Then also there's the circular hangers that we saw in the mudroom downstairs, this time a little bit smaller, but still a cool element and feature to have in our closet specifically. Also on the opposite side here is a massive trio of body mirrors. I feel like I'm in a maze right now. I look one direction, it's Inception. I look the other, I can see 100 of me. Behind me, you do see the makeup-like lights and then a skylight above us. So during the day, there's really just an endless supply of lighting here in this mirrored wall pocket of our closet. So next to it, this would be his side. Well, maybe not. You saw the motion sensor lighting that also turned on when you walk into this corner of our closet space. It's a pretty unique closet because sometimes they might have, whether that's a hers section separate from the his or completely opposite directions, but there's kind of just moments to this entire closet with the hers designer area and then the body mirror walls. And then with these doors, you can slightly see into the opaque windows so that before you open these doors, you already know what you're gonna be taking out and wearing for the day. So you've got it all in this closet. I'd be a big fan. And let's check out the master bathroom on the opposite end, where you're first gonna notice the flooring changed to a chevron pattern down beneath our feet. So many different tones and colors and features to our primary bathroom. In the center, I love this image overall. Let me tell you why. We have the tub right here on display underneath our windows looking out to the backyard, and then there are two showers, one on each side. Come a little bit closer. There are no doors. Normally you'd see glass doors right here to enclose our shower, but this is how they were built. They were meant to purposefully not have doors. So you're just in the open. You can maybe hop out from the tub to the shower, vice versa, with the gold tones on our handheld shower head, also the rain shower head up above. Textured walls surround us, so it almost still feels like we're in nature, but we're in your home bathroom shower. And it's the same exact thing on the opposite side of the tub as well. Built-in shower bench also does extend from the entire length of the wall to the wall. And if you notice real quick right here, the tub was built into the bench, so it surrounds the tub and it's not fully up against this stone wall. So just think about how that was built. That's a pretty unique feature. Then you've got the sinks, dual vanity to both sides of me on separate walls for his and hers, with black marble countertops and the integrated sinks. Backsplash is also of that black marble. Up above, the mirror stretches from wall to wall with a wood border. And then up above, we actually have a mirage of skylights mixed in with large wood beams. That's not typical for any bathroom. And then this dark light fixture that complements well with those charcoal marble countertops that we're seeing on both sides. Last but not least, in front of me is a makeup station. Once again, a custom wood countertop. You can see the ridges to the edge of our countertop here. In our makeup area, circular mirror, wood along the walls once again, and then unique drawer space down beneath us. Water closet tucked through this door. And there you have it. You have your full primary suite bathroom. What more could you ask for? This is such a unique look. But let's jump back out into the hallway on this level. Leaving the primary suite, now this is a beautiful sighting, honestly. As you walk out, you can immediately see what friends, family, or guests are arriving into your house because we are overlooking that entrance, the grand foyer, and this is truly just a moment as we can see the picture windows looking out to more greenery, more trees in the front of our property. Just something unique that you might have not noticed if you weren't here in person. But let's walk along the hallway. We have a gallery wall with multiple large wall art pieces, display lights once again, closet space to one side, and now 3 bedrooms up here. First one in front of me, king size bed actually, recessed lights surround us, enough room for a desk right below the window, front facing, looking out to the front yard and all of that landscape. If you made it this far into the video and haven't hit the like button already, please do so kindly. I can't thank you guys enough. But this guest bedroom also has a bathroom. It is en suite. Similar finishes in the vanity from what we have been seeing throughout the rest of the bedrooms in this house with the bright stone. Not much storage space down beneath. You do have unique tiny drawers there built into this vanity section, but then a glass door for our shower with the indent built-in hole where you can put your fingers, easily open that up. Tile, some that we have not seen yet, surrounding our shower walls, and this ledge actually runs the entire length from behind our sink all the way into the shower, acting as the shower niche in here. But let's exit because the other bedrooms may differ from this one. Then there is a walk-in closet. Show you what that would look like in the guest bedroom. Exiting here back into the hallway. You're really getting the full tour with me. The width of these hallways is quite impressive. I can't even really hit end to end, which sometimes I can in most hallways throughout these properties. But so 2 more bedrooms. This one is larger than the last. Front facing once again, staging for potentially a child's room, unless you, behind the camera, do like these little deers in your house. I wouldn't mind it, but queen size bed, and this is a little nook for where you have the closet and the ensuite bathroom here in this room. Closet storage space, and then in the bathroom, more countertop space than we've seen in any of the guest bedrooms, but the same look, exact same vanity. Ledge extends from wall to wall. Sliding glass shower door here this time, chrome shower head, and that was the bathroom and this bedroom. One more to show you as we exit this room and walk on the opposite end of the hallway. Takes on an L shape as it leads us to the most private guest bedroom up on our top floor. A bit smaller than the last, but now we are in the corner looking out to the backyard. How often do you see a curved sofa in one of the guest bedrooms, and actually the last guest bedroom? This is extremely comfortable. Why don't they put this in the living room? That's how you know that this is not your ordinary property, when you have a sofa like this in the last guest bedroom that you probably don't even think about. But it is en suite, of course. So bathroom, very similar to the last 2 that we showed you guys with the open space beneath the sink. Same stone finish from what we saw, and that ledge that I'm a fan of for some reason that runs from the wall into the shower. Sliding glass shower door with the chrome shower head, and a rustic look to our tile on our floors that lead into that shower as well. You guys saw it all. This Hidden Hills property in its entirety. I want you guys to leave a comment what your favorite feature of this house was down below. Mine had to be the office living area combination downstairs, because imagine getting some work done, being super productive, having some great focus down there, looking out at nature and then hanging out on the couch, but it's still private to you, your life, and you don't have to get bothered by anyone else downstairs. But you saw the house in its entirety with the sun-drenched rooms. It was just glowing and glistening as we saw the sunset. So now I do want to show you what this property looks like at night with a cool night montage. But thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe for more incredible new construction home tours like this one. Shout out to the whole team for letting us tour their listings, such as Veronika and Robert, the listing agents, also H2 Development, and Jae Omar. This is one of the best properties in Hidden Hills at the moment. So thank you guys. Cue the night montage.